A few hours from now, the January 6th committee will hold its first public hearing in more than 2 months. It's investigating the attack on the US Capitol last year. Media reports suggest that since its last hearing in July, the committee has interviewed many members of former US President Donald Trump's cabinet and has received more than 1 million communications from the Secret Service from the lead-up to the riot. Lawmakers reportedly intend to find out how the White House and Secret Service were warned of potential violence in the days leading up to the January 6th insurrection. The committee would also view how Donald Trump whipped up supporters, even as their threat to the Capitol became clear. With less than a month left to the November 8th midterm elections, the hearing will give Democrats another opportunity to focus voters' attention on Trump and what they say was part of a continued campaign against democratic institutions. Meanwhile, adding to Trump's woes, one of his employees has reportedly told the FBI about being directed by the former president to move boxes out of a basement storage room to his Mar-a-Lago residence. The order to the employee was reportedly given after Trump's legal team received a subpoena that sought classified documents at the Florida estate. Reports suggest further that the FBI also has surveillance footage showing a staffer moving boxes out of the storeroom. The witness account of Trump actions after the May subpoena was served along with the footage and could be key to a federal criminal investigation into a range of potential crimes including obstruction, destruction of government records and mishandling of government information. Well, for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tarani is joining us live from New York City. Susan, we haven't had a January 6th hearing for several weeks now. What can we expect from today's hearing?
That's right. Today's hearing is expected to focus on the fact that Donald Trump continues to be a clear and present danger to, quote, democracy. And also, they're expected to have some more evidence regarding Secret Service messages about that infamous alleged incident in the SUV with Donald Trump and Secret Service, allegedly him trying to take the steering wheel and steer the beast, his limousine, into a different direction. So they say that there is more information regarding that incident, which made headlines. We'll have to see what that is. And also, they've done a bunch of new interviews as well. They're trying to also hone in and tie some of Trump's associates to these domestic, quote-unquote, extremist groups. And the reason, I'm putting these phrases in quotes is because these are the words that the January 6th committee and the phrases that they've been continuously using and trying to garner the attention of the American public with throughout these hearings. And I think what they're trying to do now is they're saying allegedly that this will be the last hearing before they come out with a report before the midterm elections. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring all of these issues together and tackle all of them in this, what is supposed to be the final hearing. Some believe that something else might come up and there might be another hearing because they might not have what they need, or some other kind of evidence may come up and there might be another hearing before the midterms. But what they're saying right now is this will be the final one before a report comes out. But we'll have to wait and see if there's going to be any new evidence, and ultimately, whether or not it will sway the unconverted, so to say, because so far, it's sort of been one-sided, if you may.
Yeah, Susan, you mentioned the midterms there. You mentioned swaying undecided voters. Obviously, Trump isn't on the ballot in the midterm elections, but do you think these hearings, I guess, could move the needle in either direction as to the midterm results?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question on whether or not those who have been undecided are going to, first of all, either watch these hearings at a time when, kitchen table items are on the ballot, the issue of inflation. We just got a new grim inflation report. And on the other side, whether or not Donald Trump's influence is going to be sort of affected by a hearing like this when it hasn't been affected by these hearings, at least among his own supporters so far. So will this final hearing sort of sway those undecided voters? It's very unlikely, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll see what the hearing has to put forth. But as for now, 1 p.m. That's when they're scheduled to hold this hearing.
Susan, thank you very much. That was Susan Tarani joining us live from New York City.